There is one mindset shift that has the power to change everything: how you feel, how you show up, and how much joy you allow into your life. In this video, I'm going to share what that mindset is and how you can make that shift yourself. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Brianna, and I run my own business in the health and wellness industry and have such a passion for personal growth. Through my experiences, I know just how impactful mindset is and how much of an influence it can have on your life. So let's dive in. The one mindset shift that can completely change your energy is moving into a state of allowing, of loosening your grip and learning how to flow with life. When you are gripping too tightly, you are attached to outcomes. You are focused on how you want things to go. You overthink and micromanage and try to control when things happen and how things happen and how people respond. There's this sense of resistance, there's more tension in your body, and you get disappointed or frustrated more easily. All the while you're missing the actual experience of living because you are so focused on managing the outcome. And this creates more stress, it creates more anxiety, it puts more strain on your relationships, and it takes you out of the present moment. But when you're in allowance, when you loosen your grip, everything feels lighter. You go from this energy of pressure and fear and control and desperation into this energy of openness, of curiosity, of playfulness, of peace and radiance. You show up to your life without needing to control how it all plays out. You're more relaxed, you're more playful, you're more present. You're able to enjoy moments of your life instead of getting so caught up on how you wanted them to be or what you wanted them to be. You allow life to be what it is, and you're able to find ways to enjoy things for what they are. As the saying goes, a secret to happiness is letting situations be what they are instead of what you think they should be. Let's talk about what this can actually look like in your life. Let's say you start dating someone and you are already attached to the relationship working out, or this being your person. But because you're fixated on this, things might bother you more. You might become more critical of the other person. You might have more anxiety around the relationship. You might take things more seriously or try to control things in a way. You might get fixated on making them the one. But in a mindset of allowance, it's completely different. You are not nearly as attached to the outcome. Your focus is on enjoying things for what they are and wanting to make the most of it. Maybe this chapter with this person is 3 months long. Maybe it's 2 years. Maybe it is a lifetime. But you're not worried about that. You're just focused on making the most of it and enjoying it for whatever it ends up being. And when you're in that place, you show up as a way more joyful and radiant version of yourself. And you're not trying to force anything to be what it's not, which is never the way to create a fulfilling life. Or let's say you're on vacation and today you had an excursion planned, but something happens and the excursion can't go through. When you are in a mindset of attachment and control, this completely ruins your day. You feel disappointed and then let that spiral into being in a bad mood for the rest of the day and feeling like the day is a complete letdown. And you end up really just kind of wasting your day. But when you're in the mindset of allowing and having a looser grip on everything, not being so attached to the outcome, sure, you're a little disappointed. This was something you really wanted to do. But then you're easily able to shift yourself into a mindset of, you know what, today can still be a really great day. You believe that this is probably happening for the best or happening for a reason that you'll probably never know. You choose to get excited because now you have a whole day ahead of you that you have nothing planned. You have a world full of opportunity ahead of you, a day full of surprises. And so even though you're a little disappointed, you still choose to take on an attitude and mindset of, today can still be such a great day. You choose to still lean into fun and excitement. The difference looks like your roommate or partner doing a chore differently than the way you think it should be done, and just being good with the fact that the chore is getting done instead of getting irritated or choosing to just do it yourself. It looks like trying a new activity and enjoying the process even if you're really bad at it. You're able to laugh at and let yourself make mistakes instead of getting frustrated for not being great at it or feeling like a failure when you make mistakes. It looks like hosting a dinner and game night with your friends and allowing the night to flow with wherever it goes instead of trying to force things to go the way you had exactly planned or getting upset if things happen to pivot. Attachment sounds like, I really just want this to go a certain way, while non-attachment sounds like, if it works out, great. If not, I'll be okay and I'll learn something. So let's talk about how to actually shift into this mindset. Number one is cultivating awareness. This mindset can be a bit tricky because it can be subtle, so it can be hard to catch in the moment, but that's where reflection is so helpful. Think back to recent situations where you felt tense or irritated or thrown off, or where your mood changed dramatically when plans changed or things didn't go the way you imagined. Were you attached to something happening a certain way? Were you gripping tightly to how you thought something should unfold? Were you trying to control something? It's totally natural to feel this way sometimes, but when we become aware of these patterns, we give ourselves the power to shift them. The more we lean into a mindset of allowing and flowing with life instead of trying to resist it, the more joy and peace we can experience. So start by simply noticing where you're gripping too tightly, where you're attached to outcomes, to people, or the timing of things. Number two is shifting your focus. When you find yourself in those moments where you can catch yourself becoming attached or trying to control in some way or gripping too tightly, we want to shift your focus so that you can stop those thoughts in their tracks before they begin to take up too much space. You can reorient your focus to something positive or more optimistic, to something else entirely, to a mantra. Or you can completely reframe whatever you're focused on. You can say, whatever happens, I can handle it. If this works out, great. If not, there's still value in it and possibly an even better plot twist ahead. I can allow things to be what they are. Things don't have to go a certain way for me to enjoy them. I can have fun no matter how they go. Number three is nervous system regulation. When your nervous system is regulated, it is so much easier for your brain to access your prefrontal cortex, which is the area of your brain responsible for decision-making and logic. But when you are in fight or flight, the amygdala takes over and your brain starts scanning for threats. And that's why control feels so much safer. It's an attempt to manage uncertainty. It is really hard to flow with life when your nervous system is dysregulated. When you are in a heightened stress state, when you are overwhelmed or overstimulated, your brain shifts into survival mode and control feels safer. You grip tightly to certainty because unpredictability feels threatening. And then you become more reactive and anxious and quick to spiral. But when your nervous system is calm and regulated, it is so much easier to feel present and open and curious. You have a greater capacity to hold discomfort without spiraling. You have a greater capacity to feel joy without bracing for the worst. You're able to let go of the need for things to go your way in order to feel okay. I have an entire video on nervous system regulation, but you can support your nervous system with tools like breath work. And that can be just in the moment, taking a very long inhale with an even longer exhale to help your system shift into its parasympathetic state. Or you can try something like a guided breathwork meditation. You can spend time in nature. You can try somatic practices. You can act like a third person and journal your experiences to shift your brain out of your emotional mind and into your logic one. You can do things that bring you a lot of joy, that you find fun, that make you laugh, as that tells your system, hey, we're safe. Number four is focusing on what you can control. Accept that you cannot control outcomes. A part of you maybe wishes that you could. A part of you probably does wish you could because that just makes sense. But when you accept that that's not the case, it is so much easier to live with more peace. You cannot control what other people do, the timing of things, or how things play out. You can only control what you think, your own attitude, how you handle your emotions, and your actions. So when you find yourself being attached or trying to control, you can always come back to, okay, what can I actually control right now? Number five is keep coming back to a mantra that helps you be in that headspace or energy. We have to consistently remind ourselves to do something differently if we want to create new patterns. So we can come back to something like, I can soften. I am safe. That was then, this is now. Or you can just tell yourself something like flow or fun, and use that one word as a reminder to bring you back into that space. And I just want to note that being in a place of allowance does not mean being complacent or not going for certain things or not trying to find solutions, But when you loosen your grip, it is actually far easier to think more clearly, to think more creatively, and think outside of the box and come up with better solutions. When you loosen your grip, when you stop being so attached to things going a certain way and really lean into allowing and flowing with life, your entire energy will shift, and you will notice just how much lighter, more joyful, and more magnetic you feel. So this week, try to notice where you're gripping and just see what happens when you choose to soften your grip instead. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. If you like this video, then you will probably like this one too. So I will either see you over there or I will see you in the next video. Bye.